Episode 637. Thank you all for listening to episode 636. Bird Dog presents Name That Tune, Underrated Edition. I am undefeated playoff picker, Buckeye lover, national champion Gray, here with my co-host.
Also undefeated playoff picker, better picker than Jim Harbaugh of his nose, Bear.
Yeah, uh, we're just going to open the show with that before we talk about our sponsors. If you listen to this show and you bet it, like I didn't, which I should have, in a nice 11 leg parlay, uh, Bear and I would have made you a shitload of money if you would have listened to us in our picks because we picked it 11 for 11 before the playoffs started. And Gray picked all 12 teams in the right category. And then we picked them from there, and we were 11 for 11. So if you listen to the fucking show, we kind of know what we're talking about a little bit. Sometimes, this time for sure, we got it right all the way
Yeah,
through.
yeah. That was that's not easy to do. I mean,
No,
you got to pick every winner. That's tough. And honestly, we'll probably never do that again. So,
you're probably right, man. And I did play some picks last night. I played Ohio State minus 8.5, got lucky on that one. And then that was my hedging and I ended up cashing that one out early because I saw that we were going down. I'm like, fuck, if we might just run the clock and not
hmm
do shit. And so I was talking, Parrot and I were playing Fortnite, and I'm like, hey, I put 182 on this, I can cash out for 270 some, still make money, and I'm hedging the other bet, so I'll be all right. And he's like, I don't know, man. I'm like, fuck that, I'm hedging it. And I said, if either I'm breaking even, and either I break even or I'm up 372. Well, the other one hit, Ohio State minus 8.5 plus the overs. So it was a win. I was thrilled. I was happy. So I'm going to cash out that money in the DraftKings account because it was up. So I'm like, I'll leave 100 some odd dollars there because I think I'm done betting, except for our NASCAR coming up. So I'll leave enough money in there for NASCAR.
that goddamn right you have to.
God damn right.
I mean,
But
you only need whatever 36 times 3 is, pending you win absolutely fucking nothing, which obviously won't happen.
usually, yeah, usually NASCAR I win, but a couple times, at
Like
least four or
108,
five
yeah, you,
times.
you need $108 at the absolute worst, which if
Yeah.
you use all $108, it would be a bad year.
Yeah. We haven't had that yet. And then we'll have NASCAR coming up with old Bill. Looking forward to that too, getting us back in there. That's always a fun one.
Yep, sounds like we'll have another one in DraftKings. Jeremy reached out to me today, said that he has a buddy who wants in, so he's getting me his information. So we'll have another one in for DraftKings NASCAR, which is good.
Hell yeah. Yeah, because people fall off the face of the earth after like the fifth race.
I love it. It's free money as long as they pay. That's what I
Yeah, no shit.
that's what I
I need
say.
to,
As long as they
I'll
pay.
try to get Parrot back in there. Hey man, $20 NASCAR
Yeah.
picks on DraftKings.
Yeah. We know how that would turn out.
Yeah, it'll be great. He'll be out after week 3. But we'll thank some people real quick. Thank you to Wes Anderson for Moments in Time. Check him out on Facebook, Wes Anderson Music. Give him a follow on X and Instagram at Songs by Wes. Thanks to All Work Clothing. Visit allworkclothing.com. Mention Overline Podcast. And Brandon will hook you up with that deal. Thanks to Crandall's Quality Landscaping. Give Sean a call, 419-704-5471. Serves the Toledo and surrounding areas and not.
San Diego, California.
Thank you to Sparty Steve, Granky Merch, Paper Denim Art, and last but not least, Connell Barrett at datingtransformation.com.
And make sure you get to datingtransformation.com and get that free consultation when you mention Over the Line podcast. In the meantime, get to amazon.com and buy Connell's book, Dating Sucks. But you don't.
Hell yeah. Jeremy just told me he will be here next week. Looking forward to seeing Jeremy next week. And he said he's sticking to the every other week. Did you guys want to do a watch along next week of the 2000 Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Yes, on the Rumble. Because next week, it's finally here. Bear and I are heading to the Rumble.
That's right. Yeah. Be a long week. Long week for me next week. I leave on Sunday night to come to Portage. I'm in Portage till Tuesday afternoon. And I leave from Portage and go to Tip City, Ohio. Get there Tuesday night. So I'll do the podcast, have 2 more days of audits, come back home on Thursday for 1 day to then go to Indy with you for 2 days to come back home Sunday.
Yeah,
So give me a
I'll
long
probably
week
have
on
a
the road.
short I'll probably have a short Friday, so we'll just you know, we'll get on the road whenever you want to get on the road.
Yeah, I'll be working from home on Friday since I'll be gone all week. So I will be ready to leave whenever. And when I say ready to leave, it could be 11 a.m. and I wouldn't give a fuck.
So we just got to figure out we're gonna take the old Timmy Tahoe.
We can do whatever. Don't matter to me.
Go. We'll figure it out as the week goes along. Looking forward to that. We got Royal Rumble next week. Sounds like we're going to do the 2000 watch along. I don't remember 2000, so it'll be good for me. And
Mhm.
looking forward to that. And then
All I know is I think 2000 was in the Garden, I want to say. That's all I remember.
hmm,
I think either, oh, I won't ruin it for you if you don't remember it. It's
yeah,
between two people. I can't remember which one won it of the two people.
I don't remember it, so we'll wait till that comes along, and we'll watch that next week. So make sure you fire up the old cock, and
Yo, yeah.
we'll watch that along. Unless Netflix, I know they have some stuff, some content on there. I don't know if the Rumble's one of them, but
Yeah.
uh,
I'll have
we'll
to look.
probably watch it on the cock, and should be interesting, should be fun. I don't know what happened on Raw last night because obviously I was busy watching the national championship and playing Fortnite,
Same.
and we you weren't playing Fortnite
I
though.
was not,
Uh,
no, but I was watching the national championship.
the so Jeremy's excited. He said awesome. He's looking forward to next week. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. You know, I'll be in Indy 2 weeks in a row. Got the first show of the year the week after. I just finalized my team. I was telling Bear about it. Got several people going to do that. 8 of us counting, 26 on the show, so that'll be fun. And look forward to having the team back out there as we prepare for the year. Got one show and then I'll take 5 weeks off and then go back and start the big season. So it's gonna be a fun time trying to get Bear out there for something. I told Bear, I was like, whatever you want, man. Now we've got Florida. Now I've got California the week after Florida. Like it's gonna be crazy.
Yep. Yes, sir. We'll do my best. It'll be tough with a little one on the way, but we'll do what we can. We'll make something happen.
Yeah, because when are you gonna see when's the due for baby Bear?
428.
All right, so it'll probably have to be in June or July, one of those ones. Oh, you know what? You know what would be a good one, honestly, and this isn't none of this is confirmed yet, but let me see. It might actually be the week. No, it's not. Not the week after, not the week after that. I think it's yeah, the last week of May, or the I should say the week of May. This would be a good one for you to make bank, and you know if you had wanted time off and you'd only have to take 4 days off work because you got Memorial Day. We got potentially. I know we have the Pennsylvania one, but potentially we're counting in AC/DC on Tuesday. That shows Wednesday, and then we're leaving right after that, heading to Pennsylvania to do Rock the Country, which is
Where's
Jason out or
where would ACDC be at?
Cleveland.
Yeah, I think that's you said that's after Memorial Day?
Yeah, it's 2 days after Memorial Day.
I think I'm in. I don't know when I'm coming back from Charlotte.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
I'll be down in Charlotte for the race. I don't know when I'm coming back though, if it's Tuesday or if it's Monday or Tuesday. I'll check
Well,
my
even if not, you could still meet us in Cleveland for show day if you
True,
wanted to, and then
true.
go with us to the three shows. You can miss Counting. It's only a couple $100 for people. So Counting's an easy miss. And then you can come do the show that day, you know, come in at usually we have them come at noon or 1. And then after the show, just come in with people on show day who are coming to the show, not the count-in, and then could be good. You know, we're seeing what the bird's doing there. I'm gonna have a lot of people coming over that day,
Hmm.
so just be like, hey, Bear's coming with you, and then he's coming with me to York. You know, so it'll be good. So looking forward to that. It's gonna be a fun time, and it's looking forward to the show season. We're getting excited. So we have sports to talk about. We have a lot of things happening. So before we get into, you know, well, we can talk about the national championship first. Obviously, it was Ohio State came out swinging, and I was like, cool, cover should be easy. I just need some points, and then Notre Dame got a touchdown. I'm like, cool, we're good. I don't need any more points. Ohio State scores again. I'm like, all right, I'm even better. And then I'm like, all right, just end this shit. Let's just stop. You know, I got to 46. I'm good. Like 44.5 was the overs, and then they made me sweat.
Yes,
Sons
they
of
did.
bitches.
I think they made everybody sweat. There's way too many confident Ohio State fans in my text messages that I had to tell, calm the fuck down. This team likes to take the foot off the pedal when they're up and gets up 31-7, and that's exactly what they did. Got a very, I mean, we're one throw away from you're one throw away from punting that ball away to Notre Dame. Thank God Jeremiah Smith and or Will Howard threw a great ball at Jeremiah Smith one-on-one. Couldn't beat that, but Ohio State ends up winning. They do kick that field goal late to cover, which helped a lot of bettors out because actually it ended at 9.5, I think. Our line locked in at 8. I got 8.5 Notre Dame because I wasn't betting Ohio State. Um, so yeah, it was great, great. Well, it didn't start off great. I mean, Notre Dame's first drive was unbelievable, but old homeboy blew his wad in one drive, and he just didn't look the same until late in the second half. Um, Ohio State just turned it on, but they did exactly what they needed to do. They took that Penn State game plan and ran the ball. And Henderson and Judkins were phenomenal. I know they gave the MVP to Will Howard, but Quinshon Judkins was the MVP of that game. No doubt, 3 touchdowns. Dude was an absolute, but should have had. Well, no, he scored on the one that he had the long touchdown run on, so it
Yeah, he
worked
did
out.
score there.
Um, I was hoping I had Henderson and Judkins both anytime score, so I was hoping Henderson would have got that one actually because he already had 2 by that point. So I was like, "Come on, Hendo!" And he did. He was so close too. He got tackled at the 2, and then they put Judkins in, and he runs it on the next one. Um, but yeah, it was great. 10 years. It's been 10 years. A long 10 years, and really, it didn't. For Ohio State, they won in '02, they won in 14, and now in 24 season. Um, it's just one of those things that you kind of expect. That's kind of what Ohio State does. They've been there and they lose them, right? They were there in '07, '08, lost both, or '06, '07, lost both of those. Then they finally break through in the first playoff and win in 14. And then have a couple good years and just come up short and finally get to the title game in the COVID year and get absolutely shit pumped by Alabama in one of the worst games I've ever watched in my life. Um, and then, after a couple more letdowns or losing to Michigan now over the last 4 years, they finally get over the hump, win the title. So it's good to see. Of course, again, as they expand the playoffs. So now they won the first ever 14 playoff and the first ever 12-team playoff, which is great. I'll take it. I think it's not the 10 years that was the longest. It's been the last year that's been the longest since, Michigan won the national title, their first real national title since like the 30s. Um, so it just felt good. It felt good that all day today or anyone that wanted to say something, they just got shut down. So it's a lovely thing. And the shutdown was, yeah, congrats on your regular season win. That's cool. I said, just like there was a couple of Michigan/Lions fans, and I said, it's funny, Michigan's kind of like the Lions. They win in the regular season, and then, when it comes to nut cutting time, it doesn't matter. At least the Lions made it there. Michigan couldn't even make a 12-team playoff because that's what you guys needed a 12-team playoff. When I said, you guys couldn't even make a 12-team playoff, that's even more embarrassing.
And that it just shows you we needed a 12-team playoff, sure, but we were the fucking 8. So the 8 won the title. Fuck
With
off.
with the hardest road. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Ohio State beat 6 top 10 teams this year. You can't take away what they did. Yeah, they had a letdown to Michigan, whatever. Everyone says in a rivalry game, you can turn all that off and it doesn't matter who's who, which is a fact. They lost to Oregon by 1 in Oregon early in the season, and everyone, ripped and lambasted them then. Not as much as losing to Michigan, obviously. And I'm the first one to say it. I absolutely wanted Ryan Day fired. And I said the only way he keeps his job is if he wins a national title. And that's what he went out there and did. And I think Day should have got up there on that stage afterward and flipped everyone off and said, fuck all you that wanted me fired. Fuck all you Ohio State fans that wanted me fired. I wish he would have. He's too nice of a guy to do that. And
Yeah.
I'll stand on that pedestal every day of the week. I'm not going to take it away, and I'm happy. I love it. I love to see Ryan Day getting that Gatorade bath, hugging all his players. everybody there loves him. There's no doubt about it. And that's the fantastic thing about that Ohio State team and all that. They didn't care about the outside noise. They didn't give a fuck about any of that. They went and they played for their coach and they got him a win. And now guess what? Ryan Day's name is in Ohio State lore for the rest of time, no matter what. So it's great. Um, and
I was one
honestly,
of those people that shit on him. So
yeah,
I'll take it back. He won a game that matters, and I will give him credit where credit is due. What did they say? Coaches that have over 70 games that they've coached as head coach, he has the third highest winning percentage.
yeah, it's
He's a
unbelievable.
winner.
And
He's a winner, and
he won
this year
three games
proved it.
that matter.
Yeah, it did. And you know what? I don't give a shit about the Michigan stuff anymore because he just beat, like you said, six top five, top 10 teams this year, whatever it was. Or I think it was five top five teams he beat and six
Four.
top.
The only top one that he didn't get was number two, which was Georgia.
Well, but I mean, he beat three twice because he beat Penn State was third when he beat
Oh
him
yeah, yeah, yep, I
because they
got you.
had Penn State, Indiana, Oregon, Texas, and Notre Dame. So it was like, cool. And
Yeah.
Tennessee's up there. They were ranked, so that's your sixth win.
Well, that's why I was for the top 10 for sure.
Yep, yep.
But yeah, I mean that's exactly what they need to do. They came out and honestly, you almost have to thank Michigan because I think planting that flag unleashed a whole new fire on that team I had changed everything. I think if they beat Michigan, I don't think this happens. I
Probably
think
not.
I don't think it happens. I really don't. So you can say it's destiny, you can say whatever you want, but it was great. And I'll be the first one to give props and kudos to Notre Dame. They that team could have easily rolled over and died. No doubt going down 31-7 with I think 20 minutes left to go in the game. And they fought back and they had a chance. I mean, they stop Howard. They get to him on that blitz, and Howard doesn't get that ball to Jeremiah Smith. They're punting with a chance to go down and tie the game. So kudos Notre Dame. Don't quit. Obviously, great team there. Gave it their all. Um, they have a great coach. Freeman's awesome, good guy. You can tell he was rattled at halftime. Um, you could just tell in the interview he was just rattled as could be at halftime. So for him to do that, settle himself down, settle the players down, and come out, good for Notre Dame. And I hope they stay up there and around. I really do. I like to see Notre Dame up there. Um, but yeah, it's a good thing. I like it. National champions again. So go Buckeyes.
Yeah, it was great to see. And Ryan Day got that dub, which is great. And Ohio State is the betting favorite already next year at plus 450. And I mean, got a lot of guys returning. Obviously, they're gonna have Jeremiah. I think Quinshon could stay if he wanted to. I don't see him staying. And
I think he just played himself into a low first round, early second round pick with his last two games. So he's
mhm.
probably gone. I would love to see him stay as well. I would, but I think the way he played, if Henderson had that game and Judkins didn't, I could see Judkins staying. But the way he just played, he just made himself some more money. There ain't no doubt about that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then obviously Jeremiah's back. Julian Sayin is probably the guy more than likely, but Tavian St. Clair's there too, so we'll see um, who comes out on top. And first game of the year, Texas. It's
Yep.
going to be a big way to start the
Which is
year.
the number
So
two betting favorite for the national champion. So it'll most likely be one versus two to start the year next year.
yeah, and you got Arch Manning, who will be
Yep.
the guy, and Sayin or St. Clair probably. So should be a fun way to start the year. Hopefully I'm not gone. I don't think I am, so I'll be probably watching that game. And
Yeah,
I think it's at Ohio State, right?
it is. Yep. It is in Columbus. That is a fact. So yeah, it'll be great.
Good. I
Um,
saw I saw our buddy Quentin was at the national championship.
was he? Nice.
Yeah, haven't
I
talked to him, but
yeah, normally tickets drop as they as they get closer to the
fucking
game.
4 grand.
They kept going up. The cheapest ticket on game day was $2,100. They kept going up. It was insane. So normally they go down and that market ends, but man, that it was a lot. And it was probably, what would you say, 70-30 Ohio State fans, 65
Yeah,
35 probably.
yeah.
Yeah, so they and Ohio State always travels well. And Notre Dame travels well. I just think Ohio State jumped on that earlier, which is funny because Notre Dame knew a week or a day earlier that they're already going to the national championship. That's the crazy part. They had a day on Ohio State. So I think that's cool. Four of us had Ohio State as our champ. We're not gonna split a title into quarters. We'll just hit that as a wash.
We said total points of national championship game, and none of us picked
And none of
points.
us put points down. So we'll just chalk that up as a nothing. None of us did hit any of the top four though. That was that. Obviously, end of the year we would have with Ohio State, but we didn't off the rip. And none of us had the second team.
So was that
Obviously,
top four? Or I thought that was our final four. So
no,
we
that
did.
was that was the four. That was the four going into the playoff. That would have been our final four for the playoff. That's what we
Oh,
said.
I see. I thought this was our final four. Um, because we all have two teams from that four in the championship.
Yeah, that's why it was, but the Final Four, obviously, Ohio State was still the eight seed. Didn't matter. That's why none of us won this. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh
It,
yeah.
it was based off of seeding. Next year, we can try to drop 12 in there. I don't know if I want to because it's a boatload, but we can
God,
try it.
pretty
Um,
fun.
yeah, I mean, it's just tough, obviously, because in all reality, you and Parrott had Ohio State, Oregon, which obviously Ohio State beat in the second round, and I had Ohio State over Texas, which obviously they beat in the semis. So we technically played teams that they did. It just wasn't a national title game. And Dub is a pussy and picked Oregon over his beloved Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So, I'm sorry, Georgia over his beloved Notre Dame Fighting Irish. So he was wrong twice,
God.
but that's okay. So we'll just leave that one off. And then obviously Gray gets the -8 as I bet against Ohio State in every round, and it worked out for me very well. Jeremy already won that anyway, so it doesn't matter. Didn't matter. But no more college football until August. So sad. So
Yeah.
sad.
It's all right. Hard to believe
It,
it's already over.
I know it goes by so quick. So let's go to the fell. I can't believe it. The Chiefs won. Shocking, I know. Couple
The only
questionable
one we all agreed on.
couple questionable calls
Well,
on
Lions
Patty
too.
Mac Mahomes. Lions got blown out by the Commanders at home. An embarrassing showing by the Lions. The Eagles beat the Rams. Rams had a shot to go win it late, just couldn't get it together. Hurts looked like he hurt his knee bad. I don't know how he finished that game. Barkley obviously was an absolute monster. And Bills beat the Ravens in a close game, 27-25. Mark Andrews fumbles late, and then Mark Andrews drops a 2-point conversion. Rough, yeah, rough for Mark Andrews there. And it's too bad because Mark Andrews is a fantastic tight end. He's a great player. Um, it's a shame that he dropped those and he's getting all the shit that he is. But it is what it is. So we have Chiefs, Bills, and Commies and the Eagles. NFC East. Dallas fans punching air right now. So going to Sunday, 3 p.m., first game, NFC title game. Commies at Eagles. Since Ohio State won, everything in life can't be perfect. So I'm going to get punished by a Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl. I know that for a fact. So I'm going Eagles here. Though I am rooting for the commies big time. I like what Jaden's doing. He's just playing at a different level right now. And you know what? If it's a one possession game, Eagles better watch out. Hurts is hurt. They're gonna have to rely on Barkley. They split this season series. The Eagles won the first game. Come on, Commanders won the second game. Now, Hurts did get himself hurt in the second game, so he didn't play most of it. And that was a Kenny Pickett game. But they did win. Back in Philly. What do you got?
Yeah. Although I agree that it's probably an Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl, I'm not in any running. I don't give a fuck. So I'm betting for what I want. And plus, I think Jaden Daniels can win. So I think they can beat him. They beat him once. Granted, like you said, you just alluded to didn't have Jalen, but it's still they looked like absolute dogs against the Lions in Detroit. So Jaden doesn't give a fuck. And Herb Street was right. He said that's the best player in the draft. and it absolutely looks that way. And
Huh.
now I don't know if you probably didn't hear him today. He was talking about, he says Emeka Mbuka he's the guy to look out for in the draft this year. He's like,
Yep.
the guy is an absolute stud. He is like Terry McLaurin. He's had to play behind a star, and he is a star, but he's had to
Yep.
play behind it. And he's like, somebody's going to get him. And he is a dog, and he is a number one guy. So be
Yeah,
interesting to
I
see.
mean, the dude is he reminds me more of JSN with his route running, which also is kind of like McLaurin. They're not overly big, they're not the fastest, but guess what? They run perfect routes. They catch the ball. It's funny that they're talking about Emeka the whole game on how great he is. He broke the Ohio State record for most receptions in his career in an Ohio State career. Emeka Ibuka has the most receptions for Ohio State. And they go over all this and how sure-handed he is. And what does he do? Fucking fumbles.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys jinxed the shit out of him.
Yeah, they did, bastards.
But yeah, but Abuka, you know, I would say he's going to be a steal, but he's not because he's going to be a top 15 pick. Um, if he dropped any further than that, he's 100% going to be a steal. No doubt about it. Did Jeremy pick this game?
He did. He's rooting for Buffalo and the commies, but he's going Eagles.
All right. The night game, the AFC Championship game, 6:30. Bills at Chiefs again.
Just for Jeremy.
Uh-huh.
I already told you how I feel. Fuck him. I
Even though
want
the
my
Chiefs,
Super Bowl.
even though the Chiefs are your Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, they are, but I can bet against them right now.
All right. Yeah, I think this game, I really do think this is the best opportunity that the Bills have to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs just seem beat up. They didn't even play that good of a game against the Texans. The Texans just hung around. You can't let Josh Allen hang around. But they're in fucking Arrowhead, man. I've seen this story a million times. Like you said earlier in the year, until they lose, no point to bet against them. Well, guess what? Till they lose, I ain't doing it. I hope the Bills win. I hope the Commanders win. We're gonna get an Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl just because the Buckeyes won the national title. Can't have everything in life.
And will the Eagles get revenge? We would see.
I
I
hope
would
not.
hope.
I'll be a
I,
huge Chiefs fan.
yeah, same. I would root
Fuck the
for the
Eagles.
three-peat. I will
I
be
would
pulling
too.
for it.
Yep, I root for Mahomes. I don't even care. I just had to watch Brady dominate for 2 decades. I might as well watch Mahomes dominate for another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Dallas ain't going anywhere. They're a bunch of losers.
Yeah, they are. Speaking of losers, Ben Johnson is now the coach of the Chicago Bears. That's a good hire by them. We'll see if he can get that culture right.
I don't know. I just tell me the last time one of these creative offensive coordinators became a good head coach? How about Josh McDaniels? Oh yeah, he wasn't shit. How about
They didn't even want Bieniemy.
um well yeah, Bieniemy was garbage. Hold on a second. I just had one the other day too. Let me see if I can find it really fast. I had another great example. I well yeah, Cliff Kingsbury. How'd he do as a head coach? Forgot about
He
Cliff.
did great. He was great.
Forgot about Clifford. Yeah. I mean, so these guys, again, these guys that are these offensive created masterminds, that's great for an offensive coordinator. It doesn't make you a head coach. And I just don't like these coaches that offensive coaches that call their plays. Like there's very, very, very little that are successful in the NFL. It's just how it is. And I hope Ben Johnson does good things with the Bears. I like Ben Johnson. I think he could, but I don't see why people get all excited about this and make these hires when there's so many other coaches out there that are more tenured and have the mind. Like, I get it. You got to be that guy that's going to get the promotion and the raise, right? Everybody wants it, but sometimes you're just not ready. I just don't know if Ben Johnson's going to be ready for that.
Oh, there we go. Devin Brown went to Cal. Nice.
Yeah, he signed there today. I saw. Yeah, so again, I'm not wishing any bad on Ben Johnson or the Bears or anything, but these franchises who have historically lost over the last few years aren't good at picking coaches. And the Bears are certainly up on top of not good at picking coaches. I don't know. I don't know.
But Josh, but at least Josh McDaniels is going back
Yeah.
to the old Patriots.
For the third time.
Crazy.
Josh McDaniels and the Patriots is like it's like your first high school crush or girlfriend. Like you guys went out and you went to college and you broke up. And you got serious relationships and it didn't work out. Then after college, you guys found yourself back at hometown on Thanksgiving Eve. And you got back together a little bit longer, and then you went your separate ways. Didn't work out. Now you guys are both like divorced. You both have kids, and now you're back together for the third fucking time. And guess what? It's not gonna work out. It just isn't. But at least he's just an OC. And I think Vrabel and him will work well. I do. So maybe this is the divorced Josh McDaniels who finally got back with that high school sweetheart, and you guys have a nice melded family of 6 kids. This could be. I think that's how this feels.
Sounds like old Aaron Glenn is probably going to go to the Jets, and more what it's looking like, which
Yeah.
means I'm just waiting for Dallas to hire Kellen Moore.
No, they're not. They're gonna hire dumbass Schottenheimer.
Oh yeah, I saw that Brian Schottenheimer.
Yep. Again, another offensive coordinator who has no experience and exactly what I said, he will fail. Um, no doubt in my mind, Brian Schottenheimer as a head coach will fail. And I don't know. I just don't know if I'll be rooting for the Dallas Cowboys next year if Brian Schottenheimer or Kellen Moore is the coach of the Cowboys. Just just don't know if I will or not.
Maybe we can get Dion to leave Colorado.
I still think Salah's the answer. When is what has Robert Saleh ever done wrong as a head coach? He's won. He dealt with the Aaron Rodgers bullshit. Rodgers got him fired after 5 games. Guess what? Their interim coach came in and did and won literally as many games as fucking Saleh did in 5 out of his 13 or 12 or
Hmm.
whatever he got. Like Saleh, he gets shit on so much for no reason. Fantastic defensive coordinator in San Fran. Had the Jets there. Had him there. Dude won more games with fucking what's his nuts from BYU, Zach Wilson, than he did with Aaron Rodgers. Come on.
Yep.
What are we doing here? Salah's a great coach. And the shitty part is Salah's gonna go to like a Jacksonville and turn them into a playoff team fucking year one. Guaranteed. I'm gonna be so mad. So mad. That's my rant. I'm done ranting.
Oh,
Until
I feel it.
until Dallas hires fucking Schottenheimer next week, and you want a real rant, you're gonna get a fucking rant next week.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I have a feeling it's gonna happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, I saw he was now the betting favorite, heavy betting favorite.
Yep, yep. So we'll see what they do. Again, Jerry's a dumbass, so who knows? Who knows?
Go from everybody. What did I tell you? You called him old Clappy Smiley.
Yeah,
This is what Pat McAfee told Garrett.
I don't know. At this point, I wouldn't mind having Jason Garrett back. 8-8 is gonna sound good after what we're gonna get with Schottenheimer or Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I just
But I
don't
mean,
like it.
yeah. But I mean, good for Jason Garrett. He should sit on the embassy set and make a whole bunch of money and talk football. I enjoy him. I think Jason Garrett's great on television. I do. Oh, let's get into golf last week. American Express Open. My boy on VSiN, 2 weeks in a row, hit Sepp Straka 55-1 this week. Just keep ringing it in on golf bets. I love it. Um, Straka wins by 3 over Justin Thomas, who I had. Um, Jeremy gets a 5 out of Patrick Cantlay, and you got a 5 out of Max Greiserman. We got top 10. Solid week for us, the ones who picked. Everyone else who didn't pick got a Cristobal del Solar. So good for them. Got a nice miscut. I'm sure that's what they'll get all year because, Cody, Dub aren't going to pick. Parrot isn't going to pick most weeks. So, we'll probably just eliminate their names off the board.
Right? Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, this week, Farmer Insurance Open, Torrey Pines North and South Course actually is Wednesday through Saturday. Historically, it's always been Wednesday through Saturday because it's on championship weekend, and they don't want to lose ratings, obviously, with the NFL on Sunday. So they play this Wednesday. So they have teed off yesterday for those who are listening it, tomorrow for us who are recording today. They play the North Course and the South Course, and then they play the South Course on Saturday and Sunday. The North Course is well easier, 500 yards less, always plays at least two strokes easier than the South Course. And it sounds like this year the South Course is going to be even harder. So if you're betting on DraftKings out there, and you do the showdowns, find the guys that are playing the North Course both days and use those guys. But then after the cut on Friday, they all play the South Course for the last 36 holes. So um, should be a good tournament. A lot of big names this week. Always a big tournament down there in San Diego in Southern California. So for me, I'm going with a guy who has three top 15s here out of his last four, and the only time he missed the cut was when he was hurt last year. So we're going with Will Zalatoris. Played really well this week, got a top 10, or I'm sorry, a top 15, putted like shit. If he gets his putting together, he can easily win this event. Already has good course history here. So let's see if old Willie Z can get me a dub this week.
Yeah, last year I had Max Homer and he did pretty well there, but I'm not gonna take him this year. I think uh I'm gonna just go with trying to see. I'm looking at last year what I did. See when I took him. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna take the favorite. Ludwig Oddberg.
Big God bug. Four.
And
Right.
Jeremy's taking him too.
Also taking Ludwig. All right. Ludwig Oddberg. All right. We know that Dub, Cody, and Parrot are going to pick. So
Thank
that's
you, gentlemen.
that's just how that'll be. We appreciate your support in the golf world. We still have, well, now technically less than 4 weeks till NASCAR. So Daytona 500, February 16th. So we're getting there. Pretty excited about that. This is that time of year now where there's not much football left. There's not really that much on. Basketball is hockey, okay at best. So we need some NASCAR in our lives. Less than a month. Less than a month. We're getting there.
We we're there.
We're here, man.
And
We
you won the bowl game picks too. Did we already do that last week? We knew
yeah,
you had won, right?
I already won that last week going into that. GMK ended up winning on ESPN, so I'll see if he reaches out to me at work at some point and we'll get him something. But I know who it is, so we're good there. But good for him getting that dub on ESPN, one by three over myself. Very good result. It was a pretty good result.
The yeah, I just talked to Quentin. He was at 3 of the 4 playoff games. He
Jesus.
said, I said, I hope you had a blast last night. He said, we did, man. It was a blast. Amazing 4 game run. We were at 3/4 of them, once in a lifetime.
Which one did he not go to?
That's what I just asked him. Let's take a guess. Let's
Oregon.
see.
I'm gonna guess the Rose Bowl probably. He
That's
probably
what I would think too.
yeah, I mean he definitely went to the Columbus game, I would imagine for sure when they played Tennessee.
Yep.
Probably not because they won, but Dallas easy flight, Atlanta easy flight. So Pasadena a little harder to get out to LAX, but maybe he did.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's the one he missed.
That'd be my guess. But good for him though. Three of the four. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think because they have season tickets, he's able to
You get
get
first
in there.
access. Yep.
Hmm.
That's smart.
But you
Very
get first access at the regular rates, right?
Yeah, yeah, you get them at normal rates, not the bullshit secondary market rates, which is the big thing. Now, my understanding with the national championship is it's a lotto, I think, but season ticket holders are more likely because I think they only sell like 20,000 to each team's season ticket holders. So there's like 40,000 that goes there, another 10 to sponsors, and then they have like 10 to 15 for general public. But I mean, you said everyone was there yesterday. They're either on the field or in suites. So all those rich people, they don't care. LeBron was there. Um, I like that they had Bettis and Archie come out as honorary captains. I thought that was cool. But they had everyone there, man. Urban was there, Tressel was there, Cardell was there. It was cool, man. There's a lot of people, a lot of people.
Yeah, it was a
Even
fun time.
even old Grandpa Lou was up there and drinking his Diet
And
Coke.
not Lou Holtz was also there too.
Not Lou Holtz was also there. Yes, he was.
That was Ty Schmidt. Oh my God, I was dying when I saw him on the and he wore it the whole night,
Hmm.
the entire night.
I
You
like
know,
at the
it's
end that
like,
he just fell down too. Like he was just laying on the ground.
oh
So
my
good.
gosh. I'm like, that is just wild. And Kirk Herbstreit, like I said, he was on Pat Mac today, and he talked about the rough year. Obviously, he lost his dog, Ben, which is good and important to him. His wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, like
Love it.
all this shit. I was like, man,
Because
he had a
people were
lot
being
of stuff
assholes
happening.
and giving him shit that he was crying again last night. And it's like, you guys don't know what goes on in people's lives and you just give people shit for no reason. And then he came out and said that today. And it's like, there you go. Like, stop being a baby. Like, well, stop. Who cares if he cries? Like, he's a grown ass
And
man.
it, and
Give him
his
a
his
fucking
son
break.
won a national championship because his son's at Ohio State. Like, it's
Yeah, I
crazy. And then
mean,
his other son will be at Michigan.
well, yeah, but his son had, he had the heart problem, so he had to
Yeah,
retire.
exactly.
And Day
And
kept him
Day
on the
kept him.
team.
Yep.
That's why, I mean, those are the reasons
I
why.
learned that today. So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I respect Day. Forget it. I'll take back everything I said.
It's not that I don't respect Day. I've never not respected Day. The only thing I ever hated about Day was that he took over games when he didn't fucking need to. He tries
Oh,
to out, he
100%.
tries to out tough you. Ryan Day as a person, this whole entire playoffs, he gave up his sweet tickets or whatever to the child that had cancer who was, oh, I was close to death and ended up coming around and being on the good side of it and got through. Gave his family his tickets to that family where his family normally sits, to that family. He's done a whole bunch of good stuff. He gets a whole bunch of shit. Again, if Ryan Day was the coach of Florida, the coach of West Virginia, any of those teams, he would be the most beloved coach in college football. So because he coaches Ohio State, everyone wants to fucking hate him. And,
Yep.
he's a little fiery in the loopholes thing, which still is hilarious to this day. But
They did that with Pat Mack sat down with Marcus Freeman and Ryan Day, and he's like, "We got one more question," and they brought in Ty dressed as Lou, and he's like, "You're
it was
not getting me
hilarious.
again." It's like, "You're not getting me again. You've already got me a couple times." And yeah, no, they Day is a dog, man, and I hope they keep Chip Kelly because I love that offense he calls, and just let him keep calling the offense. Let Jim keep doing the defense. Keep those guys there, like
Yeah. I,
Hartline.
I think I think one more year and they'll break up. Well, I think the Heartline Chip Kelly, that's kind of where it'll go. It'll be very interesting to see what happens there. I also wouldn't be surprised if Day goes to the NFL in the next couple of years. I just wouldn't. Because he's that coach that as long as he doesn't keep that play sheet in his hand, he's a fantastic coach, fantastic motivator. He's a winner. Um, so just have your good coordinators like he did throughout the playoffs. He didn't take over. He
Dude,
had his coordinators and look what
he,
happened.
he could literally, if he wanted to, he could go to the NFL and take Chip and take Jim. Like he
Uh,
could. He could. Chip would be good as a coordinator for him in the NFL. Chip did fine with the Eagles, but then it just fell apart. But he is a good play caller.
yeah, I think there's a bunch that could happen. I think that, with the squad they have, the talent they have coming in on defense, um,
You watch that happen. They're going to go to Cleveland after Stefanski gets let go.
yeah. I mean, hey, that would probably help out the Browns. I wish he'd go to Dallas, but yeah, I think they're going to be really good next year. I think that they have a real good shot to repeat. Because I like San. I think San's a fantastic quarterback. He'll win the job for sure. Over St. Clair in my mind. Um, Running back going to be a little bit of a question. You got Jeremiah, you got Tate, you got Ennis. Yeah, you don't have Abuka, but you have three studs plus more guys coming in. You got the tight end coming in from Purdue, the top tight end in the Big Ten, who was coming in from Purdue. You have a couple offensive linemen coming in. The offensive lineman that stepped in this year played fantastic, by the way. Mind you, not many people are talking about that. That offensive line was beat up. You had to play true freshman Ryan Montgomery from Findlay. By the way, his brother is going to Georgia, the quarterback. That's his brother, his big brother. He came in and played left guard, and he had a fantastic last 6 games with
Oh
Ohio
yeah,
State.
that's that kid that fucked up his leg this year, right?
Yeah, the
Kid going to
ACL.
Georgia. Yep.
hmm Um, that there's a lot of good that happened this year with that line, and they're going to get healthy and better next year. So it's a good thing. Defense is going to look good. I think Ohio State has a really good chance to repeat next year. With
Yeah, there's
Kelly, I mean now Kelly, he already had a full year, and Sayan got to watch everything that happened. Well, guess what? Now it's Sayan's turn. You give him the keys to the car. Oh yeah, he gonna be there.
sounds like James Peoples is the likely starter at running back.
I think they're going to get somebody. I have a feeling someone's going to transfer over. I like Peoples when he came in and garbage time this year. He looked good, but he's just too small. He's not going to be able to carry the ball 20, 25 times a game. They're going to need another back to be in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if Judkins does leave, that they don't get someone else in from the transfer portal. Wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah, so
Not
they're
Bischoff.
obviously because what Caleb returns next year too.
Yeah, Downs is back. Yep. I mean, and they have the two Scott brothers who are going to play next year. Both were true freshmen, red shirts this year, didn't play. So they're going to be in there in the secondary, and then you got Devin Sanchez, the 5-star, or the second best cornerback in all of college or all of high school football, coming in as well. And he will. My guess is he'll be starting as a true freshman. He's a freak like Jeremiah Smith is, so I would not be shocked if he's starting on the
Yeah,
corner. All I know is
who's that?
that Devin Sanchez.
Oh he's a 5-star coming in. He'll be there.
Yeah,
And they said
all I know is
um
that thank God Denzel Burke is gone.
yeah, exactly. And then Carter Lowe, who's from Toledo, 4-star.
The
He
Whitmer.
should
Yep.
yep, should be competing for a tackle spot. So looking interesting. List of seniors is leaving is long. Sawyer, JTT, Henderson, and Buka, Simon,
hmm
uh, Tyleek Williams, Ty Hamilton, Lathan Ransom, Denzel Burke, Jordan Hancock, Donovan Jackson, Josh Fryer, and G. Scott Jr. All seniors.
Yep. A lot of good talent leaving there. And Donovan Jackson and Fryer had great playoffs as well, had to step up. Yeah, it'll be tough replacing some of those guys. I think the hardest one is probably going to be Cody Simon, just because he was the leader in the middle there. A middle linebacker, man, it's always the toughest position to replace. And he had a hell of a run in the playoffs. So
I love how Cody shows up, which would have been on time had we not started, early and didn't tell him.
he's got a look-alike with him.
We don't even tell you we start early because we didn't anticipate you to show up. So nice surprise.
There you go. See?
Just as we're wrapping up this first show. So how much did you
Look at
love
that.
Ohio State winning the Natty?
Nah, it didn't bother me none. It'll be nice when they cut it down to 8, and it won't take 2 months to get through the postseason. But I mean, if they were supposedly the best team money could buy, then hey man, they got the investment paid off.
Yeah. But they I think the final four teams all spent more than 20 million in the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah. I seen they spent like 20 mil to get the team, so I
Well, so
mean,
did everybody else that was there.
right. I mean, you spend 20 mil to get what, 40 back? So, I mean, it paid off. I'd do it.
Yeah, I mean they could, but it just depends on what they spend and some of it doesn't work out. Florida State spent a lot of money. Look how they did. They did great.
They should have spent some of that money on a coach.
But yeah, they all spent. I don't even think what was Ohio State. They weren't even like Oregon was one, right, Bear, on
Yeah,
money spent,
Ohio State was third. They were behind. Oregon was one, Texas was two, Ohio State was three.
and they beat them both.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, anyone can sit here and talk about money spent, bought teams, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? That's the era we're in. So get over it. Get the fuck over it. Spend money,
We've been in that era.
get better
Yeah,
donors. Spend money.
yeah.
I mean,
By the way,
look at North Carolina. North Carolina, not even close. They get Belichick, and all of a sudden they randomly find $14 million to spend. What a shock. Wait till they start winning some games. I bet old Jordan comes back and gives them some money too. I'm sure he won some bets this week.
he probably did. I would think you're right in that regard. Oh shit. So, Bear, I know you and I watched UFC this past week. Did you watch UFC, Cody?
I caught the last two fights?
I think that's what I caught because I was Bear reminded me it was on. I was like, oh fuck. So I had to put it on that TV. The one TV I was at where it wasn't on, where I had the app on, and I was like, shit, downloaded it real quick. And damn, what a fight that was.
Yeah. I mean, they both.
Bantamweight.
It was a pretty good card in all reality. I mean, it's shitty that Renato had to come in. I, Armin getting hurt, like I get it. Like it happens just way too much in the UFC anymore. We all knew Islam was gonna fucking win that fight after once Armin was out. I, and good for Renato stepping in. I mean, I find it hilarious that Homeboy got choked out in the first round and still made more money than Islam, which is fucking comical. Um,
Yeah,
but
why'd he make so much money?
I think I think Dana gave him a bonus from my understanding of stepping into that fight. But I think he was already scheduled to make like 150. So he got an extra 100 somewhere. I don't know for what, because he was supposed to fight Darush, Benil Darush, like the fourth card or the second fight of the main card and got moved up. So yeah, I don't know what happened there, but obviously Islam dominated him. He wasn't ready. You could just tell Renato wasn't ready. But he did hit him with a left early, and I was like, "Ooh." I was like, "Okay, maybe he's got a shot." Nah, got choked out.
Pretty quick.
Got choked out. But yeah, Marab and Umar Nurmagomedov, that was a hell of a fight. Dude, Marab is just that dude's just stupid. Like his cardio it's got to be the best. Has to be.
Probably the best I've ever seen. That dude was still running in the fifth. Just
Yeah. And Umar, I mean, he dude dominated the first two rounds and then just totally, totally gassed out. It was embarrassing. And I think that's gonna be the key to beat any of these Habib guys, right? To beat Islam, guess what? You're gonna have to make him gas out. Merab just did it to Umar. It's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen.
Probably had to do a bump or two before they step in the octagon. It's about the only chance they got.
Marab don't even need it. That dude has natural cocaine energy inside of him somehow, some way. Um, Yuri and Jamal Hill, that was a good fight. Yuri ended up getting him in the third KO, but hell of a fight. I don't know if you saw afterwards. They were both at the bar together, and Yuri bought him a drink. Did you end up seeing that?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, Hill with his big black eye. Yuri comes up, hugs him, buys him a drink. They cheers, and they just the camera went off after they cheersed and did all that. But yeah, absolutely hilarious. They're like, now those are two fighters right there. That's real fighting right
Yeah,
there.
he got knocked out twice that night.
I'm sure they had some fun with the ladies in Inglewood. Um, Almeida, I don't know why I didn't see this fight. I don't remember seeing this fight. He beat Sergey Spivak. I must have not had it on yet. But yeah, Jolton Almeida dominated Sergey from the highlights I saw, ended up knocking him out.
Mm.
And then old Rainer de Ritter, second fight in the UFC, choked out Kevin Holland quick. And Kevin Holland is not easy to beat at all.
Nope.
He made quick work of him. Now, granted, Holland slipped a little, got him on the ground, and he just felt uncomfortable. It looked like that whole fight. But man, that was dude's gonna be a stud. Them Dutch are coming out somehow, some way.
Yeah, and it's crazy how, Kevin Holland, he said he wanted to take his goal was to take what, 5 fights, 6 fights this year?
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. Just nuts.
It'll probably happen though too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's a tin can. I mean, he's still pretty good, on his feet. It's not like he takes a lot of punishment. He might lose, but he doesn't take a lot of punishment, in his fights. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I
he
can
ain't
see him
like
doing
what
it.
I say. He ain't like what Rashad was toward the end of his career when he was trying to fight everyone and then just started getting knocked out all the time.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
like, Rashad, you gotta get out of the ring. Just get out of the ring.
right.
And I think the craziest was old Peyton Talbot losing. He got destroyed in that fight. The biggest favorite on the card
hmm
got demolished. Absolutely demolished. That's what you gotta love about MMA. Anyone can win at any time.
Speaking
Yeah.
of that, go ahead, Cody.
No, as I said, they had a whole like puff piece written about him too. About a week or two ago, coming into the card.
Mm-hmm. That's that's what they want. That's one of those Dana's boys who ain't cutting it. But at least Aline Perez won. Got to watch her shake that ass, so that was good. We like it anytime she wins.
Yeah,
But
boy. All right, so we got UFC. Let's get that out of the way. I'm left this week.
we don't have UFC this week. Next week.
Oh, that's 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yep, they're in Saudi.
Oh yeah, and it's a fight night. Interesting. Well, that's 2 weeks from now, so we won't pick that. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know why it's weird. They're doing the in-betweens. They got a week off and they're doing Saudi and then they're doing Australia. It's like you should have done Saudi, had a week off, then done Australia, but whatever. That's the UFC for you. That's Uncle Dana.
Uncle Dana, that's what he does.
He probably
They
had a boxer size class in between. Can't miss them. You gotta teach them.
Well, we'll wrap this up then. Thanks to Wes Anderson, Allwear Clothing, Crown Spotty Landscaping, Transformation.com, Sparty Steve, Reiki Merch, Paper Denim Art, who by the way just did a nice John Lennon piece for old Robbie in the lobby. Looks awesome. In
Very
his New York City shirt. Looks good. And look forward to next week. And hopefully we're talking that the Commanders and Bills made the Super Bowl, but it's likely the Eagles and Chiefs. So with that being said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
fuck them Eagles.
Man, it's a good thing I didn't check my spam folder. That's probably where the invite was for the day.